Hey, sorry. Did I say no? Oh, you're recording. Okay.
Hi.
All right, just 1 minute. Let me just. All right. Okay.
Hold on, teacher.
I don't remember you.
It's been actually like I think 5 years since I left for SPM.
Oh,
So, teacher taught me in Form 4 actually. When Form 4 or Form 5, I don't remember correctly, when Puan Nariza went to Umrah, and
oh,
then like a few classes he took. And then during Form 4 also teacher went into my class because we were having a lot of English teacher coming into our classes. Juan Sasi
oh,
also had
okay.
one class with us actually, like a few
Oh,
classes.
right. Okay, you were just taking over at that time. Yours is the old syllabus, I guess.
Ah, yeah, I think so. I took SPM on 2019.
All right. Okay. All right.
Teacher, I'll go through the first question. Would be regarding the attendance. What strategies do you employ to encourage consistent attendance among ESL students and considering factors such as language barriers and cultural differences?
Usually fear factor. I don't think we have strategies as such, but mostly we would probably encourage them
Mm-hmm.
uh, to come to school to at least learn an extra language to help them in their future.
Mm-hmm.
Consistent, we would have probably counsel them and talk to them about why they have issues with attendance.
Mm-hmm. But is it like different for like students with like different ethnic backgrounds? Is it like different to tackle each of them by their own, or is it generally all the same?
Well, depends on the student. Usually across the board at the moment, I think many students work, okay, due to financial problems
Mm-hmm.
or family problems. So I, I think most of us would just employ the same strategies because at end results is they have to sit for the SPM, they have to
Mm-hmm.
sit for the English paper,
Mm-hmm.
and English would be very important for their future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. Should we move on to the second question, or is there anything you would like to add to the first one?
No, I think that's all.
Uh, the second one, how do you address and support ESL students or English second language students who may have challenges with attendance, such as those facing transportation issues or family responsibilities?
Uh, when you say ESL students, it will
Mhm.
be probably every student, right, who has problems coming to school.
Yeah, but it's sort of like
Specifically,
focuses on on particularly on students that learn English. So it is the same, I would say, because since all learn English, I guess.
I guess those who have problems facing transportation issues, we don't have students who face transportation issues unless they're staying very far away and their parents have not arranged transport for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most of them have no problems coming to school. It's just that they may be late
Mm-hmm.
or uh, playing truant, not wanting to come to school.
Mm-hmm.
But family responsibility, yes, like just now I talked about the financial problems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, they may have that issue. That, like we said, yeah, we encourage them to come and learn. And of course, if they are weak, we do give them, maybe we may support them by giving them an extra module to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the students are they come from very poor families, I would say, and they do not have the support they need. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not very easy to actually encourage them because they do not have any backup at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I've also sort of encouraged them to watch YouTube videos
Mm-hmm.
because I think like they have no exposure to English at all.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, if you see, we have actually Malaysia is heading towards polarization. The
Mm-hmm.
Chinese, the Malays, and the Indians, they mix with their own race. They're not inclusive, they're exclusive actually.
Mm-hmm.
They speak Malay to their friends, their family. They watch Malay movies, Chinese, watching the Chinese movies, the Indians watching their Indian Tamil movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so the the problem with them is their exposure to English is actually is decreasing.
Mm-hmm.
Only if they make an effort, they increase, they get better in their English. If they do not do anything about it, it is very difficult for them to actually get to improve their English
Mm-hmm.
skills,
Mm-hmm.
language skills, right?
Sure. Let's move on to the third question, which will be regarding the students' involvement in English classrooms. How do you create a positive and inclusive classroom environment where all the students can show their utmost involvement during the teaching and learning process, like in English classes?
Okay, most of the time I would include everyone. I
Mm-hmm.
make sure that all students participate. I would pick on each one of them to answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I would encourage them by affirmation, saying very good, brilliant, and I think that helps them to feel that the answers are good, and yeah, they feel more confident. um, yeah. Anything else?
Like, do you have like any specific strategies that teacher like employed in the classroom, like sort of that pushes students to be like diverse but also comfortable with each other and also with the teacher, I would say, like rather than like asking questions and stuff, like them not being not confident enough or having anxiety, like how do teacher deal with that, like for students to ask
Okay.
really.
Okay, it depends on the class.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be the good classes, the average, and the weak classes.
Mm-hmm.
The good classes, I think there is no problem because most of them seem to want to get better, and uh, they do show that they are forward. Okay, they want to take part. They will, in fact, ensure they would want to participate. The
Mm-hmm.
weak classes or the average to the weak classes is when you will have to encourage them, tell them that it is compulsory that all of them take part. Like, with the new syllabus CFR, we have 4 papers that the
Oh.
students, so they have the reading and the speaking
Mhm,
and the writing and the listening, and all 4 skills are very important, which is I find a very good syllabus because the students are involved in all the skills. So
mhm,
when it comes to speaking, we do that very often in class. Every unit, we make the students speak so
mhm,
that we tell them, when you sit for the exams, you have more confidence. So you need to practice because practice makes perfect.
mhm,
So this is when sometimes I just want to choose a few, but they
mhm,
all will say, teacher, I haven't done. So they seem to want to even be
mhm,
involved. So I think it's a good step ahead,
mhm,
forward, I would say.
mhm. So is it like quite similar to MUET these days, the SPM syllabus for English? Since MUET
Yes,
touches all those
yes,
4 skills. Oh, okay.
yes, yes, very similar to Moet, but Moet doesn't have. I think there's a new format, right, for Moet. The latest one,
Uh,
the SPM format is. The SPM. Do you know the SPM format?
SPM format, I feel like I don't know much, but the MUET
But
one, I
you are
had,
not doing teaching, right, in
yeah,
TESOL.
yeah, yeah,
Have you done any
MUET test.
practical? practical
Oh,
teaching it?
not yet, teacher. I will have my practicum during semester 5. I'm on semester 2 now.
Oh, still a long way, yeah?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Uh, so what was your question again?
The similarity to Moet.
Mm, yeah. Uh, they have the same reading, they have the writing, they have the speaking. Yeah, and they have the listening. It's the same,
Uh,
except that their essay, when I did that, actually, because I had to sit for it, because some teachers had to sit for it, they had a report. I don't think they have a report writing anymore. But
oh,
yeah, very similar to the web. Yeah.
please.
Did you have the report writing?
I think for writing there were two parts. The first one would be like an email, and then we have to like I think synthesize from it. And then the second part would be the essay, if I
All
remember
right.
correctly.
Okay. Yeah, but when I did, there was no email. There was an essay and a report.
Uh,
So they have actually changed. Email now from Form 1, they have the email
mhm.
right up to Form 6.
Okay.
The first question is an email. Yeah. All
Um,
right. So
for the
where do
next
we
question, how can teachers prepare lesson methods in a way that is kinder and more engaging for students? Kinder being more understanding, patient, and supportive towards students, or any other qualities that teacher have integrated in ESL classrooms.
Okay, when we teach, we would look at the ability. So for the better or
Mm-hmm.
uh, the weaker or the stronger students, or what do I say, the ones who are better, we would of course have a higher, what do you say? We would have higher expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would always, I have to say kinder. Sometimes to be kind is to be firm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it's for their future. If
Mm-hmm.
I were to say it's okay for everything, then the students may not think that they need to fare better.
Mm-hmm.
I For the better classes, I tell them they have to challenge themselves
Mm-hmm.
because it is only going to help them in their future.
Mm-hmm.
For the weaker students, yeah, we try to be kinder, meaning we try to be we help them along, okay, with basic stuff, okay, and we encourage whatever they are able to say. We encourage them, and we keep on giving them good
Mm-hmm.
supportive words so that they know that they can do it, but slowly but surely. They need a lot of practice.
Mm-hmm.
So with lesson methods, like for at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the for the good classes, we use our textbook. We use the same. We follow the syllabus.
Mm-hmm.
But for the weaker classes, we have actually moved to a module, and we just follow the module because it's more exam oriented, and we
Mm-hmm.
want the students to be able to do those questions
Mm-hmm.
instead of going and beating around the bush and then coming back to an exam
Mm-hmm.
questions, which they may think like it's so different from what they are learning. So we just use an SPM module,
Mm-hmm.
um, SPM type of questions. So they just
Mm-hmm.
solely focus on those kind of questions.
So is it more for the weaker students, would teacher agree that you would use more like a behavioristic learning method rather than like a cognitive one for the smart students? Or is it like is it only cognitive, or is it only behavioristic?
I think we would mix both. It
Mm-hmm.
all depends on the student because they could be the weak doesn't mean they could be weak in certain subjects, but they may be good in English as well. You know, understand? So
Mm-hmm.
it all depends on actually the individual.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, majority Yeah, we will also look at the majority, but we will pick out the good ones so that, we support them with support them ourselves, or if there is a few of them, we will put them together. Or at the same time, we also ask them to help the weaker ones.
Okay, let's go to the third question of the involvement part. What techniques do teachers encourage for shy or hesitant English students to contribute and participate more actively in classroom activities?
I think it's about the same. Okay, I would, like I said earlier, I make it a practice to involve the students, all the students, okay, to contribute and participate, especially like speaking activities. I said, all of them will have to participate. They cannot be shy about it, or shy and, shy away from doing these activities. Everyone has to be involved and everyone has to contribute during this. So no matter how bad they are, of course, when we first start, they might not be very good, but we just continue to encourage them and say, okay, but we must teach them some techniques as well. We can't expect students to come up with their own style. Okay, so like for speaking, we're trying to teach the students the right way of speaking or writing an essay. We give them like a formula to learn or remember, that they know exactly how to answer. So this would help them to be more focused. Because if you just throw a question at the student and ask them to answer, they may not know where to start. So with this, I think we've been doing this in Skudai lately, with this acronym, with the emails and the essays that they have to write. I think students are, they are happier. They know that, they can answer the question by just following that method. And they're able, they feel more focused and more confident, especially when it comes to email. Because the weeks, we encourage them to write the email. And another technique we say, when I say technique, I say so easy to pass English lah, It's only 5 marks, so you just need to get 10 marks for every paper. You probably pass your English paper, or even less, So we keep on repeating that it is actually not too difficult to pass English, but they cannot pass up an empty piece of paper. No effort, of course, there's no marks. Some effort will always obviously bring you some marks, and I of course will share with them about students who have never passed their English, but they will pass in the SPM.
Right. Is there like any strategies that teacher use like for English, dividing them in a group and then like asking them to act out or something like that to like push them so that everyone can involve like in a certain
So
activity?
the role, you're talking about role playing, but this role playing, we don't do much in school anymore. It's more like, because we have speaking, right? So yeah, we can do role playing in speaking activities. But like I said, all of them are involved. Usually because for the SPM English, they have to work with a partner. There are 2 of them. All right. So they would all of them will have to be involved in the speaking, and they can't be shy about it.
So it is like a must that they should either
Yeah.
it's like do or they have to do at the end of at the
Yeah.
end of the evaluation.
Yeah, all of them
Moving
will have.
on to the progress part. How do teacher evaluate the students' progress, and also generally, and also in the English classroom? Like how can you like identify how the students is like progressing and stuff?
Okay, so usually, of course, it's their schoolwork. Basically, that it starts with the schoolwork, whether they've completed their work, whether they show any interest in their essays and the way they participate in class. That should show their, how their progress is. And of course, the end of it is the exam results. So I would evaluate them from the start according to their progress, classwork, and also in the exams.
So is there like DSKP? Our doctor taught us that for English classroom we do use teachers doctor stated that nowadays they use DSKP to like
Yeah.
where they have like file on each individual students, and then they evaluate their progress, and from there they will be like putting into the system. Is it already happening, or
It's
is
not the SKP, it's
Hmm.
PBD, I think. It's
Okay.
PBD. It's Pentaksiran Dalam Bilik Darjah.
Okay. So
DSKP is more like a scheme, the English scheme of work.
all right. So it will be like it will be looked at all 4 points, is it? Like the student speaking skills and writing skills. Would it all
Yes,
be evaluated?
all will be evaluated.
Okay. For the second part, what would teacher do if you notice a student's progress in school is declining?
Um, the first thing I would do is obviously to talk to the student and to find out what is his problem. And most of the time the progress declining would be he's not completing his work or she's not completing her work. And probably, where language is concerned, I think it's the work that's being done that shows the progress. So I would probably talk to them and find out the reason why they are not doing or completing their work.
Would teacher also like would teacher rather like send them to like a counselor, the counselor of the school, or would teacher rather like handling them by yourself?
It depends on the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the student states that they have a bigger problem, like they have family problem or like they need to work, probably that would be a counselor's duty to tackle the problem. But if if they're just plain lazy, I don't know whether I should send them to a counselor. Maybe the counselor can counsel them on that if they are becoming more and more addicted to games and social media, I guess. Yeah, I would probably send them to the
Was there any scenario where teacher like personally contacted their parents and like told them how their progress was like declining, or was it only like